Are you used to the idea yet that the season is over?
I mean, yeah, I mean, just don't like being done in April anymore. I'm pretty done with it. So I think moving forward, it won't be the case. So that's the belief we have in the locker room. That's next step is that we're not going to be done in April anymore.
What do you think has to happen to take that next step as a group?
Well, just the natural progression. Just keep getting better individually, and that of course will help the team collectively. Of course, there's a lot of question marks going into this summer, and of course a lot of excitement with everything going on that's been happening all year. But all you can control is your individual work ethic. So I know for me, it's being so close, being 6 points out. It's having that taste of kind of getting into the dance and not getting there. It hurts a lot more this year, and it's definitely more disappointed. And overall, just of course, there's things we wish could have changed at the year, but just not how it goes sometimes. But yeah, no, it's just I got a lot of motivation going into the summer. I want to find another level individually, and I want to take the next step as a team as well.
Sir, what do you think this group needs to do to take the next step?
Well, I just think everybody just can always improve, and just I think that's what in our locker room too as well is that we have guys in our group, core guys that want to get better. They're never satisfied with how they are. There's always room to get better, whether it's skills, skating, strength. There's always an opportunity to become a different level of a player, and yeah, I just think natural progression and I mean I'm not the one making decisions about personnel, but yeah, whatever the guys who are in charge of doing that, that's they usually make the right decision. So but just like I said, it's just all I can control is my work ethic this summer, my shape, and just making sure I'm prepared to take that next step as a player as well.
How important was it for this group to play those meaningful games to kind of get a sense of what it's like and the work it takes to get to the postseason?
I can talk about my experience, especially for these games. It's it kind of felt like it all started in that series with Detroit, and then continued on the rest of the season. Is for me, I kind of rode that highs and lows that just being for the first time, the excitement and kind of looking big picture about all right, this is the record we needed to have to make it to the playoffs. And I feel like I individually got distracted by that a little bit, and then in the middle of the process just realized all you can focus on is that game and one game at a time, whether in practice, making sure you're ready for the game. And individually I feel like I learned a lot from the stretch of playing meaningful games, and I know talking to a lot of guys, they felt the same way. As towards the end they realize it's just a one game at a time, and control what you can control. You don't really need to look at the scoreboard, because if you just play the way you play and just control your own destiny, then all the chips will fall in place. So I definitely think playing these games are going to be a huge benefit for us down the road, and that right from game one that we're going to set the standard of how we're going to play, and it's going to last game 82 and on.
Having Claude Giroux around helped you as a captain?
I mean, I can't say enough great words and things about G. For me individually, he's it felt like I've known him my whole life. We've been best buddies our whole life, and just how close he is and how much he's helped me is just the leadership aspect. Of course, is pretty easy to talk about, but just as a person as well, and how to handle day-to-day situations from his experiences, and I'm just lucky to have him to be able just to talk to him. Of course, being able to talk to my family, he's somebody that I'm definitely going to lean on for definitely the rest of my career.
He helped you grow as a leader?
100%. I think just his experiences, what he's learned, and being the captain in Philly, and just kind of at this stage in his career, is all he wants to do is win, and just to be able to be around a guy that cares so much about the guy next to him, and cares about the culture, cares about, just wants to win, and just being around that, it only makes you better, and just makes you a better person, better friend, and a better player as well.
What happened to Stützle's game this year, and you're close with him, but you're also close with Norris. Did you catch yourself thinking about what you could be like down the middle. If, you know, if you have a healthy year from both of them, how wide you guys could go.
Yeah, I'm excited for game 1 next year. It's just to see that 1-2 punch, and then even Pinto, who stepped up in a big way this year, who's now as a rookie to play big minutes. It's kind of amazing that nobody really talks about is how he stepped up in a situation like that where he probably wasn't expected to play against some high-end players that he has all year. So I mean, just the future is bright here. It's going to be a great kind of run here, and there's going to be a lot of great memories here down the road. And of course, disappointed with how this season finished up, but I mean, can only be so excited for next year. Just want to get going again. And I know it's kind of crazy to say it's 100-something days till the next regular season game, but it's a different feeling this going into this summer than it was in the previous summers.
Would the word change at all?
I don't think so. Just have a couple, nagging issues throughout the season. Just get banged up, and of course, with the wedding this summer, it's going to be a busier summer than usual. So I don't think I'll be going to Worlds.
Tim was saying that he feels a lot of the young players probably aren't at the level they're at without DJ's influence as head coach. Like, do you feel his message still gets across in the room, like now 4 years into things working?
Absolutely. I for my experience, I wouldn't be in my position if it wasn't for DJ. He's given me so many opportunities to become the player I am, but also the person and leader that I am. And he's been a huge influence, and it's given me so much opportunity. And I think Timmy said it perfectly. I saw his quote is that a lot of us young guys wouldn't be in our positions if it wasn't for him. So I believe he's a coach for us still. We all love playing for him, and he makes our team that much better. And just I firmly believe 100% that we have all the belief in him, and he's a coach for us.
Claude said.
Earlier, there was a level of frustration because he believes that this team should be in the playoffs right now. Going back to the beginning of the season, how much that bad start stings at this moment, and how much important is it to address that at the start of the season next season?
Well, of course it wasn't the start we wanted. There's, of course, a huge emphasis on having a good start, and almost felt like there's this unnecessary pressure that we put on ourselves. It's just all we have to focus on is just playing our game, and I have all the confidence, belief that not many teams can handle us. We're fast, we play hard, we leave it all out there every night, and I don't think we need to add this extra pressure of whether it's outside noise or internally where we're like, we need to go off to this number at us for the start of the season. If we just play our game, we're a confident group, and we're a hell of a hockey team. So there's not many guys and teams that can handle our speed and work ethic. So I mean, we're not going to put a number or a set expectation, but we just have that belief that we're going to take this next step, and there's no excuses. We're just going to set that standard right from day one at camp and get going from there.
You can feel from the outside, the hunger you guys have to take that next step. Can you feel that with the fan base as well too?
Just the support we felt from them this year, and it was honestly an unbelievable year. It was even being away from the rink, you just feel the hunger, feel the excitement, and I just know it's going to keep growing from there. So like you said, I've got that hunger already to come back and get kind of the ball rolling for next year after a big summer. So and I expect the Sens faithful to be right there with us for every step next year.
You mentioned in a podcast somewhere that you're not going to go support your brother in playoffs?
I'll be in Florida, but I'm definitely not going to the games. So you'll be seeing me on the beach, Tanner in the elbow room. But it's of course excited for him, but it's different now. We're divisional rivals, 6 points out from a playoff spot where they're holding. So of course, hopefully they're playing a little bit of a underdog and kind of Cinderella story. That's a big cheering for him individually, but it's different this year. It's of course we're so close that just wish we were in that situation as well.
Tim Stützle says he hates losing to you in pickleball. That often.
We're pretty even, I think. I've never played before, so I started playing, and I don't know, we're pretty even, I'd say.
How fun is it, though, to be able to enjoy time away from the rink with these young players and to be able to compete with them? Does that keep you young and help you on the ice when you go back?
Yeah, for sure. I think just their mindset and the energy they bring every day to the rink, I can relate to that a lot, and we're just coming to the rink is a lot of fun, so it makes your job a lot more fun.
You have two kids in the corner. Do you feel like sometimes you've got a whole bunch of kids on this team too?
Yeah, I mean, no, not really. Definitely having the two boys, they come to the rink and they have so much fun with everybody, and Timmy's great with Gavin. They love playing with each other. So anytime you see that, it just makes it feel like a family.
Was it an easy transition for you this year, especially coming home to Ottawa?
Yeah, I think early on it was an adjustment. Starting the season in Philly every year for 15 years, and then kind of staying home and getting ready for the season. It was a little different, but I adjusted pretty quick, and yeah, it was good.
Do you feel a lot of progress was made with this young group this year?
I think we did a lot of good things. A couple stretches that we weren't getting the results, but we were still playing some good hockey. It was very frustrating. But saying that, I think obviously it's not the position that we want to be in right now. Well, me personally, I know we took a step from the team that I had last year, but you want to be in the playoffs. You want to be competing, and it's just a little frustrating right now.
How do you, simple question, but how does this group make that next step?
We just got to keep working. We have a lot of young players that got better. You look at a guy like Timmy, from the player he was last year to this year. You can see his progress and the superstar that he is, and it's a real treat to be able to watch him play every night.
When you reflect on this season, do you feel like there was internal growth though with the team from even November to February?
Yeah, I think the way we played as a team, it was more consistent in how we wanted to look at it as a team, and we had guys were all buying in on how we wanted to play, and you started seeing results at one point, and after Christmas we were playing some really good hockey and getting results, and we just kept going, and we just got to build on it for next year.
For you, getting the career high in goals, what led to that for you this season? How do you think you got that done?
Oh, I think just kind of going to the net a little bit more, having a little bit more some dirty goals, and I was playing with players that can make plays and hold on to the puck, so kind of created room for myself.
When you first signed, you said that you were coming here to win, but you were honest enough to say, we're probably not going to win the Stanley Cup in year one. Now that this year one is done, what's your mindset? How optimistic are you that this is going to happen for you for the next 2 years?
Yeah, it's the same goal. We how it is. You make the playoffs and then anything can happen. But saying that, there's a lot of teams that are going to take steps next year. A lot of teams are going to be better. Making playoffs every year, it's extremely hard. It's a lot of hockey games. You got to be consistent. You got to be able to play a certain style that is going to make you give the results you have for a full 82 years. So 82 games. So right now it's kind of sucks right now. Like, season's over now. You have to wait a couple months to get back into it. But having a little break's gonna be good now, and just make sure you guys are ready to go when the season starts.
Will you be going to the World Championships at all?
No.
En fait, les séries, mais point de vue personnel, ça demeure-tu quand même une saison satisfaisante?
Ouais, je pourrais bien dire ça, oui. Mais comme j'ai dit, c'est comme tu tu vois les match-ups dans les séries, les équipes qui vont se jouer, tu veux faire partie des séries. Ça, c'était un peu frustrant, mais disant ça, il faut juste continuer à travailler puis continuer à bâtir quoi qu'on est en train de faire. C'est pas une grosse frustration, c'est juste un peu déçu peut-être. Je pense qu'on est une équipe qui devrait être dans les séries. Je pense que c'est pour ça que j'étais un peu frustré. Mais en disant ça, je trouve qu'on a bien fait pareil.
Mais c'est un rôle de leader, tout le monde semble avoir apprécié vous ici. Comment tu as épousé ce rôle-là et comment ça a bien fonctionné?
Bon, ben, ils ont beaucoup de joueurs dans notre équipe qui sont des bons leaders. C'est pas, je n'ai pas à l'aréna puis commencer à dire trop. J'essaie juste d'aller à l'aréna puis faire ma job, jouer de la bonne façon. Puis c'est rien que ça que je peux faire. Puis je pense que c'est la meilleure façon de pouvoir leader.
Je veux voir ce qui va se passer cet été, le nouveau propriétaire qui va arriver, des changements qui pourraient arriver dans cette équipe-là, dans la Ligue de la sélection.
Il y a beaucoup de possibilités comme c'est là pour les propriétaires. Puis c'est pas quelque chose que je contrôle vraiment. J'essaie de me concentrer là. Aucun des joueurs qu'on contrôle. La seule chose, c'est sûr qu'on est excité de voir c'est quoi qui va arriver, savoir qui les propriétaires, savoir quoi leur but. Puis on peut juste attendre comme c'est là.
Dans tes réunions de fin de saison avec Pierre et avec les J. Smith, ça serait quoi ton message à eux?
Je pense que ça va rester dans la chambre. Puis on va voir.
L'avenir pour vous autres, comment prêt vous êtes de devenir compétiteur dans cette ligue?
Je pense que notre mentalité cette année était une très bonne. Puis, tu sais, c'est pas un secret qu'on veut être une équipe qui joue dans les séries, puis qui peut compétitionner, puis qui peut jouer pour une coupe de mois. Pour faire ça, il faut être consistant, puis il faut juste continuer à travailler. Faut pas commencer à changer tout à cause qu'on n'a pas fait les séries. Il faut juste continuer à travailler sur quoi on est en train de faire cette année.
Congrats on the 90 points. Was that anywhere near what you expected for the season start?
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I think as an athlete, you always got to bet on yourself, and I always believe I'm a really good player in the league, and I worked really hard that summer, and going to continue to work really hard.
What was it like facing the other team's best night after night?
Yeah, I think it made me better. I think as a young player, you always think about like playing offense and all that stuff, but for me, it was really important to learn quick that it's not all about that. It's not all about points, and playing against the top line definitely makes me way better at playing defensively. And for us, I think the whole group in there, the whole year was all about getting the wins, and nobody cared about whoever has more goals or whoever has more points. And that was just a special group in there.
Do you set goals at the beginning of the season on how many points you'd like to kind of be around?
I mean, I don't think you really set, like, what do you want to be point-wise. I mean, for me, it was just, I can have great games and don't get a point. And then you have terrible games and you get 2 points. So it's just like, it's just weird how it goes sometimes. But in the end, I just focus to playing my best game every night. And as long as you get scoring chance, I think that really helps. And I kind of learned over the years that, you can have 9 shots and don't score a goal. And then you have 1 shot and it hits the net and it goes in, or the goalie makes a mistake. So it's not all about points. And for me, it was getting the wins this year.
And for you, when you reflect on the season, what do you think your best game was?
That's hard to say. I mean, the best game?
For you personally,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
So
I can't. Yeah, no. I can't really think about one game which was the best game, but it's just sometimes the puck finds you and you just I had a pretty good span there, I think, in February, was playing pretty good. But in the end, it's just the puck finds you, and then when you get hot a little bit, and then you keep scoring, and then you get cold for a bit. It's so weird how it goes. You can't even, like, then you don't get a point for 4 games. You play bad, and then it goes good again. So it's just weird how it goes. But I just try to play my best game every night, and sometimes you have it, and sometimes you don't.
Tim, sorry, will you be going to the World Championship?
I've got that question so many times. I don't know yet. I haven't really thought about anything. The season just ended yesterday, so we'll see how it's gonna go. I gotta talk to Pierre, and I gotta talk to DJ, and yeah, see what they think too, and then I think we're gonna go from there.
What did it mean to you to get so much responsibility killing penalties? When you're talking about offense, defense, what does it mean as a young player?
Yeah, it means a lot. I think getting the trust from the coaching staff, I think I really earned it this year, and I played a lot of minutes. So I love killing penalties, and I just try to, if I have the puck, hold on to it as long as possible, and kind of don't give the puck away, and maybe create some chances for us too. I think that really helps, and I think if you look around the league, especially this year too, I just saw a stat I think yesterday that Batherson has like 10 PK points. Guys like him, like he has 5 PK goals. I don't think he really has killed before starting this year. And it's great to see that right now skilled players get the chance to kill penalties too.
Going forward, how much do you think you'll benefit from him being around a competitive guy like Claude Giroux?
Everything we do, we compete. I mean, if it's ping pong in the room, if it's pickleball, every sport we do against each other, we always compete, and I hate seeing him winning. I hate to say it, I just hate seeing him winning, and then he keeps chirping me for a bit, but no, it's just he's been such a great guy. I said so many times, he's such a good hockey player. He's one of, if not the smartest player I've ever played with, and having him play next to me and just learning from him every day has been awesome, and being able to play with Chucky and him, has been special. I mean, those are special players, and I think we work together pretty good. I mean, if somebody in our line is mad, and G comes in there and just keeps talking, and kind of makes you feel better again, and then we just go from there. I think we build a really good chemistry, and having him around, I think also for Chucky as like a leader too. I mean, Chucky's such a young captain. He's been great. But having G next to him, I think, helps him a lot with like everything he's been through, and as a leader, just bringing G in has been unbelievable, and we love him there.
Have you seen a player like Giroux who doesn't quit on a play? Like he could be knocked down and he's still trying to make a pass from his knees and that kind of thing.
I think that's just the way he is. He's just so competitive. I mean, you guys don't even know how hard we go if we play pickleball. Like it's hard. Like you gas for practice after if you play for a bit, but no, everything he does, he goes hard. I mean, he hates losing as much as I do, and he's just so competitive that everything he does, he's giving me everything he has. So, like I said, he's been great, breaking career highs, hitting 1,000 points. He's just been unbelievable. I mean, there's nothing you can say. I always tell him, for that he's only 34, he's still a really good player.
When you reflect on this season and you look ahead to next year, what do you think the realistic expectations are?
I think we don't even want to talk about expectations. I think for us, the main thing is going game by game. I think we took huge steps forward. We had so many injuries, especially during that important time of the year. We had so many guys out, and I mean, Josh has played 10 games. He's a 35 goal scorer, if not even more, and losing him it hurt us a lot. But saying that too, I think Shane Pinto has been outstanding. He came in playing second line as a rookie, scored 20 goals, and he's such a great guy too. I hate talking about him too because he's been unbelievable. I mean, coming in like that and playing those hard minutes against those good guys in your first year after being out for 2 years, not really able to play. was really fun to see.
If you look at how this team's grown over the last 3 seasons, we didn't the influence DJ Smith has had as a head coach as the years have gone on, and you guys have kind of climbed steps along the way?
Yeah, I think without him, none of the young players would be where they are right now. He's been so good for us, and yeah, he's just a fun to be around too. I mean, yeah, he makes us feel really good, and especially if you have a bad game, he's always talking to you and trying to make you better. I think he's been telling me that I'm going to be a really good player since I'm young, and he trusted me. I mean, this year he trusted me as much as you can probably trust a player every situation. And no, I'm just really thankful for everything he's done for me, and I think everybody in that room can say the same thing.
You were just talking about how much you hate losing. You get a little bit more of a taste of the meaningful games this year. Does that motivate you more, not making it to make sure you're in next year? Yeah,
100%. I think as a player, you always want to be the best. You don't want to lose any games during the season, but that's going to happen. I mean, you're going to have bad games. You're going to have good games. You don't feel good some games, and you just try to go as hard as you can. And I think, yeah, the schedule we had too was tough, but we just worked as a whole group. I think there wasn't really a game, maybe Chicago I could think of right now, where we didn't really have it, but there wasn't really a game where nobody was trying. Like, everybody was trying as hard as possible, and that's what GJ is about. Like, he gets all his guys working as hard as they can every night, and that's, I think, what's going to bring us forward over the next years. I think in that league, you just got to work hard every night and try to outwork the opponent. I think every team has some skilled players and guys that are going to make plays, and if you work hard, I think there's a lot to accomplish.
Last night, Brady called you the most outrageous person of all time. How do you respond to that?
I mean, if he's saying I'm outrageous, I don't know what he is. But no, it's just yeah, he's such a great guy. And, since the first day I came in, he always took care of me because he's been around a little bit longer. And having him next to me means a lot. I mean, not as just players, but also as friends. I think it's been awesome, and that's definitely the most fun I've had during my career, probably. And yeah, it's just the fun we have on the road, at home, when we come into road cities for dinners and everything. It's been unbelievable, and he got really funny over the summer, and he wasn't that funny before. I hate to say it, but I think he's going to be even funnier next year.
Feel strange having the season over?
Yeah, it's always definitely a weird time. You know, I'm gonna miss the boys a lot, and you know, you see them every day, but you know, they're my good buds, and I'm gonna miss them a lot. But you know, yeah, I'm gonna miss them. But it's been a great year, so it's been a fun year, and just excited for next year.
Do you feel this was a big growth year for you, given your added responsibilities?
Yeah, for sure. I think you know, last year I got hurt, and playing a full 82 games, I'm pretty happy about that. I think, you know, coming in, I had some goals for myself, and you know, I accomplished some, and I thought it was a successful year for me. You know, it's been a long one. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but you know, overall, I'm pretty happy with it.
How challenging is it to be thrust into that second line center role immediately?
Yeah, I think you know, I didn't really think too much of it, but then you realize that, you know, there's so many good players now in this league, and you know, usually the top 2 lines are pretty good on each team, and I learned a lot from it. You know, I think it's only going to make me better for next year, and you know, it's a great learning experience for me. I think it's only going to make me better in the future, and I'm pretty happy with how I dealt with it. So.
And a bit with Claude Giroux, kind of throughout the year, like what was his influence like on you this year, given all the growth that was going on?
Yeah, he's awesome. I think everyone's going to say it, but he's just such a great dude, and I mean, he's a legend in this game, and you know, he sat beside me in the locker room, and I just learned so much from him, and he was just so good for us. I think he came in at a perfect time. We needed that kind of veteran type leader, and you know, he's just a great guy, and someone I just, you can't really, you know, when I was younger, I always used to draft him on my fantasy team when I was playing fantasy hockey, and now I'm playing with him, and it's just such a cool experience, and you know, I soaked up every moment, and you know, it was pretty special.
What was the single biggest lesson you taught this year?
He's taught me so many. Probably the biggest one is you just got to work hard every day. I know it sounds really cliche, but even in practices, just working hard, working on your details, and it goes a long way. I think he shows it in his game every night. He works his bag off, and he kind of brings the boys into the fight every night, and he taught me that, and I'm just going to use that going forward.
What do you think you need to improve on?
Me personally, I mean everything. I think I say it every year, but I think my skating can get much better, stronger in the corners, just stronger on my feet. I'm going to take a few weeks off here, and then just get into my off-season workouts and just continue to put my best foot forward and try to get better. So I'm excited for it.
You said the 82 games after last year. Were there points where 82 games seemed like an awful lot to grind? Does it catch up to you as a rookie?
I mean, yeah, I think all the guys used to say it last year when I was hurt. Like, you have no idea what an 82 game schedule is like, and I would just kind of brush it off. But now that I've been through it, I really understand what they're saying. It's a grind. Once you get to that 50 game mark, you still have 30 something left, and in college we only play 30 a year. So that's double it, a little bit more. So it was definitely a lot this year. But, as the season went on, I learned some routines that kind of got me going every night. And, I learned a lot this year. That's pretty much the main thing. So.
You still debating where to go World Championships?
Me personally, I probably won't. It's my RFA year, so I'll probably, just in case, no injuries, so probably won't go.
You left the arena last night. Was the feeling of, hey, this was a positive year, we took a step? Is there some frustration given you were that close to a playoff spot, kind of short? Like, what was?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think, we obviously took a big step, but, I think there was a chance for, honestly, we were 6 points out, I think. If you look at that November month, obviously we had a terrible month, but, we didn't play bad hockey. I think there were a lot of one-goal games in that month, and it's a little frustrating for sure. I think, obviously the injuries the whole year was frustrating, and just not staying healthy, but, I think it just wasn't meant to be, and I think next year, I think it'll just bring a more added motivation for us to come in, have a good start to the season, and hopefully make playoffs next year.
What do you think of your season?
Yeah, I think some ups and downs. I think, I felt, it's obviously an adjustment coming here and, change up pretty much everything. So, even outside the rink, it's just a little different to move your whole family. And I felt like towards the end of the year, I became a little bit more consistent in my game and kind of found that even space to, kind of play my game and still play within the system and, be effective. So I think that was something maybe I struggled with a little bit in the beginning of the year, is where that middle ground was. And but, I think, ups and downs is the best way I can describe it. I think, I've learned a lot this year, and hopefully something that can make me better going on to, next year's.
Dorian has said that he is going to qualify you. Are you willing to have discussions about a long-term contract? That was something you stated at the start that you wanted to put off to the end.
Yeah, I think, definitely open to anything. I think, I'm going to sit down with my family and obviously my agent, over the next couple weeks or months and, kind of figure out what the best thing for us is and, as a family and try to figure that out. But at this point, I'm definitely open to anything.
Has the transition, Alex, been more difficult than you thought, or has it been easier than you thought? Like, how do you kind of weigh that?
I think coming to a new team is a little bit different. Probably I felt like they welcomed me in pretty easily and I was comfortable right away, but on the ice maybe it didn't translate as well as I wanted it to. So, at the start of the season. So I think there was an adjustment period, and I think as the year went on, obviously you just get more and more comfortable with, the guys, the system, everything. So, I think, at that halfway mark is kind of when I started to figure things out, I think, and, just play better and feel more confident in my game.
Alex, when you reflect on that, what lessons can you learn for the future? Like, what do you take from that in terms of growth?
Yeah, I think there's so many different things you can take. I think, even just being under a new coach, sees the game maybe different than, other coaches you have, or you can pick some things that, he really wants you to focus on. I think if you add all those things up with all the coaches I've had, there's a lot of different things that can really make me a better player, and the details of the game. I think that's a big thing, in the NHL now, is you have to be so detailed and, really focus every game. You can't really take any games off. So I think, consistency is definitely key, and I think that's something that, I've been better at in the past, and I think I obviously want to get back to that, next year.
Does the situation of this game, just with so many young players, including yourself, encourage you and make you want to be a part of this organization?
Yeah, I think there's obviously a great young core here. I had a good time this year. I think playing those meaningful games at the end of the year, obviously I think, kind of slipping out of it early in the year and then being able to battle back. I think those games are just so much fun to play in. I think you look back to those Detroit games, that's maybe some of the most fun games we've had all year. So I think, it's just fun to be battling with those guys, and I think it's a bright future here for sure.
Talk about what's right for your family and stuff. How big was the adjustment even for all of you to move from the U.S. to Canada? And, as much as there's a lot of similarities, there was clearly just some differences in even your personal choice of, beverages also.
Yeah, it's definitely different, especially being in Chicago for quite a while. My wife had her own friends there outside of hockey, and, it's just tough to take all that away and, move to a different country where she doesn't know anyone. Obviously, everyone here and all the wives and girlfriends really made us feel welcomed and her welcomed, and she's made a lot of friends here too. So just took a little bit of time to adjust to it, and, obviously a lot changed when we had our baby too. So this was our first year with a baby too, and you take all those changes without a baby, and it's a lot, but with a baby it just makes it that much more. So I think she's been awesome this year. She's really supported me through everything, and it's been good. I think all these things are fun to go through in life, and all the changes are good. It grows you as a person, and you meet new people and a lot of great new friends.
There was a lot made of practice where you and Claude Giroux talked for 20 minutes on the ice. Can you just say now what you were trying to elaborate more?
No, I think that was blown a little bit out of proportion. I think we were just chatting about the way we play and what we can do better to obviously we weren't going through a great stretch at that point, and we were all just spitballing ideas. I think G's obviously so smart. He's been around forever, and I was more just there to listen. So he's a guy that's been through obviously a lot of years and has seen what works and seen what hasn't worked, and I think it's just good to have that dialogue where you're throwing ideas off and see what sticks, and I think that happens a lot more off the ice than people think, but it just happened to be on the ice that day, so I don't think it's that weird.
But is it good because it's a two-way street?
Yeah, 100%. I think obviously our coaching staff is very open to listening to what we think was going to work and what not, and obviously everyone needs to buy in for it to work. So if we can spitball ideas and hear each other's ideas, I think it just makes everyone that much better, and it makes the buy-in a lot easier when you see what works and what doesn't. So I think it's good to have that dialogue.
What are your summer plans?
Just relax. I think probably start working out in a couple weeks and then get on the ice maybe a couple weeks after that, but nothing too crazy. Just focus on next season and getting back to where I want to be.
No World Championships?
What was that?
No World Championships for you?
No World Championships for me.
What are you thinking about the season that was?
Yeah, obviously I think we all wish we could
still be playing. I think we gave a good fight to the end. Obviously, with all the injuries and guys missing, it was tough. But I think overall in the season, we made some good strides. And like I said, I just wish we were still playing right now.
Was it nice to get that taste, the Detroit games?
Yeah, it was just cool to feel the energy, I think, back in the rink this year. Anywhere we went in the city, you could just feel that buzz this year, I think. And, us players just thrive off, the fans in the rink this year, home and away. So, it was awesome, and can't wait to get back in front of them next season.
Is there any disappointment in not being allowed to go to the World Championships?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't told whether I couldn't or couldn't go. I just seen the reports online, but if I get the opportunity later to go represent my country, I'd be happy to. I've had nothing but great experiences playing for Team Canada, so we'll see what the future holds.
What are your summer plans?
Not much. Stick around here for a few weeks, hang out, and then back to Nova Scotia, where I always go, and bunker down there until come back here. I don't really leave anywhere to go anywhere on vacation or anything like that. Just love enjoying my time back there. So excited to get back with the family and friends and have a good summer of training and come back ready to go.
Are you a guy that watches the playoffs, even if you're not part of it, or you like to just kind of forget that it's on?
I mean, yeah, I love watching hockey, so I'll definitely throw it on. Obviously, it'll hurt a bit knowing that we're not in it, but all my buddies are always talking hockey, so if I don't watch the game, I'm kind of out of the loop, so I'll be tuning in for sure.
When you watch them this year, will you try to kind of visualize what position you're going to need to do to put yourself in that situation in the future?
I think so. I think you hear guys talk about how different of a game it is, so I think watching, you can just see the physicality up and stuff like that, and it's just, I think the first round of the playoffs is the best round. Everyone's ready to go, and everyone's the most healthy then. So it's just exciting to watch, and try to learn a few things for sure.
What are your thoughts on the future of this group and just leading into next year?
It's exciting for sure. I mean, like I said, just when the games were meaning things coming down the line and feeling that energy, you could feel kind of what it would be like in playoffs. I think obviously it'd be even better, but we want that taste for sure next year. So we're gonna do everything we can to make that happen.
It's kind of a streaky year for you. Maybe a slow start. How frustrating was it? I mean, a lot of posts and everything.
Yeah.
What did you happen?
Yeah, I think it was an up and down year for me for sure. I could admit that at points in the season I wasn't playing to where I wanted to play, and there's some points where I was playing well. So I think just finding that consistency basis next year, and I think this is a big summer for me, training wise and coming in ready to go. And obviously we got a big year next year as a team, so got to make sure on my end I'm doing everything I can to be the best player I can be next year.
Frustrated when you look at that plus minus stat?
A little bit, for sure. Especially when you see all those tweets out there and stuff around the Masters. But it's something I want to clean up for sure. I think the last 20, 30 games I did a better job of it, but first half of the year was obviously frustrating, eating the minuses, and I think next year if I keep it down and I'm in the pluses, it'd be awesome.
How much did you learn from Claude Giroux?
Yeah, he's been amazing. He was my favorite player growing up. Get to sit next to him in the locker room now, so it's pretty special for me getting to learn from him. Never got a real chance to play with him, unfortunately, because we're both right wingers. But maybe one day. But no, just a true leader and just such a competitive guy, and obviously had an unbelievable year this year for us, and just a great teammate.
How are you feeling these days?
Good. Everything's good. Weather's good. Shoulder's feeling good. So yeah, I'm excited for summer for sure.
How has the rehab been in the last? I don't know. When was the surgery and until now?
Surgery was January 31st. So it's been like 10 weeks and everything's good. Yeah, rehab's it's pretty slow at the start, but it's picked up recently and I feel really good.
When do you think you'll be able to get back on the ice?
Probably soon, like a month or so. So that is kind of exciting me and gives me something to look forward to. So yeah, I'm excited.
What's kind of the timeline going to look like for Josh? Like, how different will this summer be maybe in years past when you're relatively healthy, kind of ramp up the way you normally?
It won't really change anything, to be honest with you. If anything, I'll get to start my training a little bit earlier because typically once the season ends, I take like a month or so off, just kind of reset myself and stuff. So yeah, I'll probably get an extra 4 to 5 weeks of actual training in, which will be nice. And obviously have to manage my workload and stuff just to make sure I'm not doing too much. But yeah, I'll have a full summer of training, which is it's obviously huge.
How was the mental challenge to have to deal with this again this year? Like, were you feeling almost like, how is it possible this is happening to me again?
Yeah, it was frustrating for sure, especially when it happened, that early in the season. Came into camp in good shape and was looking forward to having a good year and helping the team out. But sometimes stuff like that happens, and it's just kind of how you bounce back. And thought I had a good mindset going into it, and obviously got re-injured again. But yeah, it's I had a lot of good people around me and good surgeon, and then just looking forward to next season. So it's nothing to worry about, and I'm just excited to get back.
Good people around you, you mean like teammates, coaches that supported you?
Yeah, everyone really is. Whole support staff, medical staff, teammates, coaches, family, friends, you name it. It's important to have people like that in your life when stuff doesn't go as planned. So very fortunate for that, and yeah, it's a good group here.
You see this team still playing for something late in March while the player like you taking the sidelines. How optimistic are you that next year when you join the team again that you can make the push and get over that hump?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely hard to watch when the team was doing well because I wanted to be there with them and hopefully kind of get us over that hump this year. But like I said, it's nothing that I could control. I was hurt and kind of just had to be on the sidelines and be a good teammate and support my teammates. And they did a hell of a job all year long. It's not easy, and guys did the best they could. And like I said, obviously I wish I could have been out there and been playing with them, but it just gives me a little bit more motivation for next year for sure.
Watching in the same position, watching Stützle this year, are you shocked or amazed or surprised how quickly he's elevated his game?
Honestly, I'm not surprised one bit. It was a treat to watch. I think he's got all the talent in the world, but he's a competitive kid, and he's only 21. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. So he's going to be one of the guys that takes this team to another level, and just happy to be a part of it with him, and kind of looking forward to seeing what he can do next year.
Can you explain how difficult the matchup thing is on a night? You've done it night after night after night. You're seeing the best lines and centers. How difficult is it to prepare yourself for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just kind of learn on the fly, especially for him this year. When I went down, he kind of just took a lot of the load and did a really good job and trusted himself. And I think there's a lot of guys in the room, too, that kind of, helped him with that. And there's a lot of good leaders in that room. But he's a smart kid. I think he just kind of figured it out. And like I said, he trusted himself, and he just knows that he's a really good player. And I think just his competitiveness is kind of what gets him over that hump. So he's a special kid.
The silver lining of your injury is it allowed Derek Tkachuk to play his style game?
Sorry, what was that?
Your injury allowed Derek Tkachuk to get into the lineup and play, get to his style game. How much does it help knowing that when he got to a style game after getting something he did very in school?
I mean, I don't think that was. Maybe I missed a few games. So, but I mean, that's a pretty special feat to accomplish 1,000 games. And whether I was hurt or wasn't hurt, he got to 1,000 games, and that's not an easy thing to do. So I've got to spend a little bit more time with him recently, just because we're both hurt. And yeah, he's a great teammate. He's one of the best teammates I've ever had, and obviously got nominated for the Masterton, and there's no surprise there. So definitely very lucky to have been able to kind of play with him and be alongside him this year. I've learned a lot from him.
Could you house a lot of the time. You had a lot more free time than your teammates.
Yeah.
So any new hobbies or developing?
Yeah. I bought a keyboard, like a piano, a few weeks ago, and it's not going too good. It's it's pretty tough. Takes you like an hour to learn like 6 seconds of a song. So a lot of Netflix, a lot of dinners with teammates, and cooked a little bit here and there. Babysat Forgie's dog, which I don't know if you guys saw, but it didn't go too well at the end. But fortunately, I was able to get him and return him to Anton. So he kind of ran away from me my last day. Yeah, it wasn't too planned. He just saw the garage open and bolted out the door. So yeah, like I said, Forgie, actually my phone died, so he couldn't even call me. And he kind of pinged my location right before it died and came in and met us. So other than that, not much.
So dog watching is not on your
I wouldn't recommend you give me your dog, but I'll take it if you want me to. I love dogs. It's just a little mishap there. So
I've had that happen. It's not a nice feeling.
no, my heart sank. I was getting ready to go to dinner. I was in jeans and I was sprinting through it was like a movie. Like you see the dog come and it's like, okay, why is that dog running? And then you see me 10 seconds later sprinting after him. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah.
So the year in the books.
Well, the year in the books. Good year though. It's exciting to see this team taking steps. I mean, you don't have a blueprint for how long or that's going to take, but to have gone from coming here in 2020 and having literally zero chance of playing any hockey that mattered to now 3 games before the end of the season still being in the playoff hunt. I think I think that this team is doing it right, not cheating for wins, but learning how to play the right way and getting that experience. And there's a lot of good in this group, so it was a good year to be part of.
How are you doing physically?
Physically okay. I broke my foot at the start of March and had some other stuff related to that, so didn't get much time through March to heal, and once they finally put the X on our name, it was time to just kind of let it heal. So if we could have kept going, I'd have kept going, but at some point, if it's not mattering, then you got to take care of yourself a little bit and not make it any worse. So feel pretty good now.
When you got the one off the other foot, was that just like...
That was just kind of like straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. It was just like, I had some deficiencies in that leg because of it, and then the other foot had been, like I said, broke for about a month, so it just wasn't worth it at that point.
There was a lot of, I don't know what the right word is, there was a lot of consternation on your part, certainly, what was going to happen at the deadline.
Yeah.
And you stayed.
Yeah.
But what is your future role here? You had told me before the deadline that there had been no contract discussions.
Yeah, I mean, I think hockey's a very funny game. Things can change pretty quickly and kind of drastically at times. I don't think the door's closed on coming back here and being part of this group. But I think things would just kind of have to fall into place with the direction that the team wants to go, and for what I need personally. I'm at a point in my career where I'm 31. For me, my next contract, I'd like it to be a multi-year deal. At this rate, I'm getting older. There's only a few, maybe one of those left out there. After 30, the league doesn't seem to like signing guys to too many multi-year deals, and maybe fairly. But for me, that's kind of the goal going into the summer. So, but at the same time, for 3 years, I've been here and battled with this group, and not a part of the young core, but definitely very much a part of
this group and its growth and success this year. So door's definitely not closed on that.
Have you talked to Dorian and got feedback on if it could be here?
Yeah, we talked this morning, and I try to be as transparent as possible. So basically, the conversation is as what we just talked about. The door is not closed. It's not a guarantee. It kind of depends on both sides. Like I said, for me, I have to do whatever it is to take care of my career and my family, which likely means a multi-year deal. And if that's not in play here, then I won't be back. But at the same time, maybe that doesn't transpire. Free agency can be a little bit fickle at times. You never know how it's going to go. So there's definitely a desire to, if it could work out here, to be back.
I think Bola was just saying, like, part of the trajectory of the team is like now it's really going to start getting fun around here. Is that part of the draw for players, well, potentially that leave the door?
Yeah, I think it goes for guys that like myself that have been here. I think it goes both ways. I think you want to give yourself a chance to possibly see things through. I mean, it hasn't been easy. For me, coming from Nashville, where my entire time there, we didn't miss the playoffs. We weren't selling at the deadline ever. So for my first year and then into my second year here, those were new things for me, and it was hard. You see, a guy like Nick Paul, we'd been very close to see a guy like that get moved out, and Connor Brown, and some of these guys that that you go through the ringer with, and there's difficulties in that, and then there's some awesome things that happen this year. Just the way that the group got better and the way that we played down the stretch, it's exciting to be a part of, and you can see the success that's going to come here in the future. And selfishly, you want to be a part of that. You feel like you've had a hand in that, and you want to see it through. But at the end of the day, it is business.
How much of that is the influence of Drew?
Honestly, G's been great. He's it's so impressive what he brings to the table. I mean, was it 35, a career high last night in goals at, how old is he, 42, something like that? It's so impressive, and just the way, how competitive he is. I mean, playing against him, how competitive he is, but to see it firsthand, he's just a gamer. He's not a big guy, but he's one of the best hockey players I've ever played with. His mind for the game is so good. I don't even know how he shoots with that curve. Like, I have no idea. It takes a special guy to use a stick like that. Him and Kane, probably the only couple guys with that curve. I couldn't even raise that thing. So he's one of the best hockey players I've ever played with, and he's such a good guy. I think I've said this before. I've always had a ton of respect for G, just in playing against him in Philly. After I'd gone through some things that I had gone through, he was one of the first guys in the league to just, we're playing, going head to head, and he just stopped and asked me how I was doing, said it was great to see me back. Like, he's that type of person, and he's brought all that and more here.
What does that mean for the rest of the group, presence like you in the room?
Well, it helps. It helps everybody. It is a young core, so the experiences that he's had over his career he's able to show a great example for these guys. The league is so hard on a day-to-day basis, and when it's not 2020, 2021, when it's not all about winning every night, it cannot seem as hard. But if the demand is to play your A game or at least your B plus game every night, it gets difficult, and he's been able to do that for a long, long time, and he continues to do that. And I think it just sets a great example for the rest of the group.
And you mentioned the progression from when you got here till now. What was it like playing in those Detroit games? Because that was the closest this market.
That was awesome, and that's the first Detroit game when I actually broke my foot. But those were crazy games. To have that little bit of build up to being pretty much deadlocked in the point race, where we were in the standings, having it be a division rival like that. Those are the games that, as a player, you'd love. You know, you sit in your bed in the afternoon and you have a hard time napping because you just want to get back to the rink. You have those butterflies, that good anxiety to come play the game. And, you know, to see the way that this team has responded to games like that, I think that's one of the more promising things about this group. We're able to get up and bring our best when it's demanded and when you need to have those games. And that was fun to be a part of. Obviously, for me, the Detroit games are cool because that's where I grew up, and you know, I grew up watching that team. So it's fun to kind of give it to them on the other end. I don't know. I seem to have good games against them, so it works out all right.